You guys aren't going to believe this. After all that talk about good deals and meat, whole ribeyes again, $2.78 a pound, not $2.98, and that's at a local grocery store. This is our grand opening was today, and they had ribeyes, whole ribeyes, $2.78 a pound. I just got through vacuum sealing all those. These are going into a Ziploc bag with some seasoning. These are going to be cooked this week. So also bought a 10-pound round of hamburger meat, ground beef, $1.15 a pound. So these steaks here, they were cut a little bit thicker. These were 3/4, the ones I got today. Hey everybody, Cokeman 250 here. And on my last video, there was some great conversation about buying whole sides of beef and stuff like that on saving money. And one of the things that come up was Hardway Farms, which is also 1952 Jeep, which I don't think he posts on that channel anymore, but Hardway Farms, he does a lot of stuff with bees and stuff like that. If you guys don't know him, go check him out, Hardway Farms. I'll stick him up here in the cards. But what it is people live differently today financially than they did back in the day, and I know there's lots of reasons, but one of the things is people used to live season to season instead of check to check. Everybody lives check to check nowadays. So everybody goes to the store every week and they buy, 1 pound of butter, they buy 1 dozen eggs, they buy yada yada yada. You get it, So what it comes down to is, back in the day, people would save up, or they would sell firewood, or they would raise up through the spring and butcher a hog in the fall. Same with a cow. And then they would have that meat to go all winter long. Well, even the people who didn't raise and butcher, people still bought a whole hog or a whole side of beef at a time. You don't hear a lot about that nowadays. Nobody wants to drop a couple $100 for a whole hog processed, or $100 and you take it home and process it yourself. Nobody wants to drop $100 at once, because everybody's so used to spending $100 or $150 a week on groceries, when if you truthfully break it down, you could take that $100 a week in groceries if you would buy, like they used to in the old days, a 50-pound sack of flour, 50-pound bag of sugar. If you would buy this stuff a couple times a year, or one time a year, a 50-pound bag of sugar will probably last my family all year, maybe 2 years, if we, we don't use a lot of sugar really. Baking bread and like cobblers and stuff like that, but we don't drink sweet tea and stuff like that. So anyway, same with a 50-pound bag of flour. Say it'd use a family of 5 a whole year to go through a bag of flour, a 50-pound bag of flour, 50-pound bag of sugar. Well, instead of buying a 1-pound bag of sugar every week or every other week for $3 a pound, you could buy a 50-pound bag at 40 cents a pound. You know what I'm saying? That's where our money goes. That's where biggest part of your money goes. That's where biggest part of my money goes. It's all those little things that we don't buy in bulk, that we buy often. And the consumer world has built everything around that. They expect people to come to the store every week. They expect people to pay that much for a pound of this or a pound of that, when really you could spend $100 on a hog and have enough pork for a family of 5, I'm guessing, all year long. And if you went in halves with somebody and bought half a cow, you have all your meat for probably every single meal for the whole year for a family of 5 right there in those 2 purchases. And then if you put a garden on top of that for your vegetables, you can really cut your food bill down a lot. So remember, the smaller the package, the more it's going to cost you. Convenience costs money. You know, and that's where it is. You know, how many retailers do you know sell 50-pound bags of beans? Not a lot. Even a lot of your bulk places don't sell 50-pound bags of beans. So there are things that you need to buy in bulk that will save you lots of money a year, and quit living paycheck to paycheck. When you live paycheck to paycheck, the consumer, the retailer has you where they want you. And there are certain things you're going to have to buy weekly. And one of them's probably milk if you don't have a cow or a goat. One of them's bread, unless you make your own bread. But biggest part of your things, you can buy quarterly. Even if you buy quarterly, you're going to save so much money, it's unbelievable. And if you was to just, whatever your food bill is a week, take that money, set it aside every week. The thing is saving up enough money to make some of those bigger purchases, so it will start freeing up cash flow throughout the weeks after that. And it's hard to understand. I know it's a little bit complicated because the world's not built like that anymore. But perfect time with tax season coming up. I know a lot of people get an income tax return. If you get an income tax return, buy a hog and put yourself back enough pork for the year. And buying a hog, that's it. You'd be surprised how cheap it is to actually buy a hog. Get you some 50-pound bags of staples. Get you some of that stuff that you eat a lot of that goes a long way for a little bit of money, especially in bulk. And then every week, still take that money that you would have spent on groceries and put it back and see where you're at the end of the year. And then you'll already be on top of buying your stuff for next year with the money you saved. I guarantee it. You could probably double what you buy if you bought frugally like that. So anyway, stop living check to check. That's where they got you. And that's where they want you. So get away from living check to check. It's hard. It's hard. And there are a lot of times that I get on that old check to check system again. But you know how good it feels to not be living check to check. And one of the biggest things that will ease the burden of living check to check and freeing up some cash flow in your pocket is saving money in bulk food items. This is Cokeman 250 from Land of the Free and the Home of the Brave. God bless everybody. And remember, prep smarter and pray harder.